this number blew me away. 300 congregants. 300 of their congregants lost their homes. It's just unfathomable. I was trying to explain this to my daughter, and I said, imagine basically our entire neighborhood gone overnight. That's what you're talking about. It's basically all of Amherst, all around. It's crazy. So as I was thinking about it, and I think all of us just hurting just to hear about that, and the loss of life, but just the entire destruction of the community. This is a poem I wrote today. To my friends in LA, the sky here is white, pure white, so white I forgot what colors actually look like. Then I saw the news. The skies over LA are anything but white, yellow as a canary, red as a firecracker. I wish I knew how to stretch my sky to theirs. I think they could live without colors, at least until the smoke clears, at least until blue could return to the hills over Hollywood. So we'll keep our prayers today. We'll dedicate them to so many people. And I know there's so many things in the world that we're thinking about, but certainly all the displacement. And LA, as you know, is one of the largest Jewish communities in the world. So it's impacted a lot of synagogues as well. I'm sure you have colleagues,
texting
right?
with my sister-in-law, who's, there's the Kenneth fire, and then there's the Palisades fire, and then there's another fire. She's blue dot right in the center of that, and they got like some false evacuations yesterday. It was on the news that the county had sent some, and then they retracted it. But they're like on constant, I told her, come to Buffalo if you can stay if you need to, stay as long as you need to. But actually they're heading back into those areas, like where the Palisades fire is. They're heading into those areas and she can go to someone's house there where it was previously evacuated. So they're playing hopscotch.
Wow, it's unimaginable, to be honest. Has anyone here had people that are impacted in your friendship groups or families? Yeah. So we send our prayers, and again, we dedicate our service tonight to that. We're going to turn to our candle blessings on page 120. What you saw there, by the way, Joanne, the very rare occasion she goes on vacation, and of course that Murphy's Law, certain things happen. So candle lighting, page 120. Healthy form of fire. Linda, would you like to honor us in lighting the candles? Thank you.
And you'll excuse me if I have my phone going on here. I'm just trying to see whether it's working or whether we need to reset it. It's working? Okay.
Thank you. So welcome to our streamers. We apologize.
Oh, oh, good. Hello, sorry. You missed our opening song.
Oh no, we still have. We need to find some better
I
melodies.
have so many boxes that work beautifully at home. I should just bring in a bunch of them.
Those big ones.
Then it
that
wouldn't
was
be
just
so fraught
exposed to
with
moisture
tension
or
if we didn't
something.
do it. The scariest moment when you sit down at the Shabbat table is, and especially with a large gathering, is cutting.
You have another one?
Are we out?
It seems like this is,
I had some luck last time.
I think the side thing is more. Is there any Boy Scouts?
Oh, so close. We got some Girl Scouts.
Yeah, I've got people who pick me up for cookie hours.
It's so funny. We remember on Shabbat that it doesn't work, but nobody remembers during the week that we need to replace that box.
All right, we're gonna pretend they're lit. I'll try one more time.
That's right.
No, they disappeared. Everyone
Battery
keeps
operated.
bringing them in, and then they disappear.
Well, you're making me feel better. If he gets on the first try, then I'll feel better.
There we go. I had some Shabbat luck there. Nothing to do with you. Perseverance.
Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav Kivanu, Lehadlik Ner Shel Shabbat. And Linda.
And one of them went out.
Ah. Oh no. It's a comedy of errors. All right, Linda, we're going to lift up the Kiddush cup to say the blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu mitzvotav v'ratzavanu Shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon Inchilanu zikaron lemaaseh bereshit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Shabbat. L'chaim. Any good? Okay, good.
Oh.
Thank you, Linda. Let's turn to page 126, and we'll read together in the English, a prayer about gratitude. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. We officially welcome Shabbat in on page 138 and 139, and we're going to do the final, actually 139, we're going to do those two final verses, 8 and 9. On the 9th verse we rise, and the Shabbat.
Sorry, Rabbi, we're going to put in Shalom Aleichem.
Oh, Shalom Aleichem, so
Page
let's go back.
142, sorry.
142, so ignore that, we'll go back to
Go
139
back
in
to,
a minute.
we'll go forward, go back, whatever.
Let's welcome the angels of Shabbat.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hashem, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech, Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Motel Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon. Mimelech, Malachi Hamalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leShalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon. Mimelech, Malachi Amalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedek Shalom, Malachi Shalom.
Now we turn back to 139, and we'll sing the 8th and 9th verse. On the 9th verse, we rise, welcome Shabbat as she enters into the room. We bow to her, and then we welcome each other with waving.
And we're doing verses 8 and 9 today. This is our Lincoln's Nigun that we have done.
After
We haven't done it
Abraham.
in quite a few weeks.
It's Abraham Lincoln, right? No.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Yeah, it's modeled after when he would arrive like at a
Like a state of
like a
fair.
war site or something like that, and all the soldiers would greet him. They would form this huge line, and they would, as he would walk through, they would open up the line, and he felt well, this is Joey Weisenberg. He felt as if it was like we should feel the same way when we are greeting the Shabbat bride, the Shabbat queen.
Hmm.
That, we form this line and we open up slowly, slowly, slowly as the bride comes through.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you
So
for sharing.
it sounds quite American. The melody has that American feel to it.
Yeah, it'll give us new perspective on it, actually.
Here it is. When Abraham Lincoln used to go out to inspect his troops, the men would stand in miles-long lines, opening to the right and to the left as he came through. The words of Yamin Usmol, right to left, also expresses the anticipation and finally the reception of another enduring hero, the Shabbat queen.
So nice.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, hode chadodi likrat shala b'nei Shabbat nikamela, hode chadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikamela. Verse 8. Yamin usmol tifrosi ve'et Adonai taritzi al yadish ve'emparti ve'nismecha ve'nagira holech hadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikamela, holech hadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikamela. Boi v'shalom, ater b'ala, gam b'simcha u'v'tzola, toch emunei am tzigula, boi kala, boi
We
kala.
welcome each other.
Holy Chadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikamela, Holy Chadodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikamela, b'nei Shabbat nikamela.
The face of Shabbat, let us welcome. And I love, Dr. Fine, you were the Shabbat bride there, so thank you for coming in. We remain standing for the call of community. Page 1, when he came in with his red walker, it was like the Shabbat was here. It was wonderful. Page 146, again, our call of community, the Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. We continue thinking about the love that we share in this room. Page 150, Avat Olam. Remaining standing.
Avat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Avta. Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu lilmod etam. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, b'shochbeinu u'b'komeinu, nasiach v'chukecha, v'nismor divrei Toratecha, u'b'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ki hem hayenu le'orech yameinu, u'maher negeh yomam v'layla. V'yavatecha hatasim mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael.
Page 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shekevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
You may be seated, and we continue with the V'ahavta from Deuteronomy 6, 154, page 154.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha v'chol me'otecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher Anoki mitzavcha hayom ha'levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibartam bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'tarech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kukbecha u'kshartam le'od hayadecha v'hayu letotavot b'einecha u'chtavtam hamezuzot b'techa u'vishabrecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Let's turn to the top of page 157. This is kavanah, an intentional reading to get us ready for the Mi Chamocha, the prayer about the crossing of the sea. And this also reminds me of President Carter that we said goodbye to this week, who really just said, so many of us in this world, it's so easy to say, well, that's not my problem. And he dedicated his life, as his grandchild said, he was 8 years a president, but 92 years just a human being trying to... 94 years. Oh, 4 years president, right. 4 years a president, 96 years a regular human being ready to just make a mark in this world. And it was amazing to hear his grandson describe that, actually. So let's read together on page 157. Sorry, 4 years, of course. Together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternal Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. And with that, we turn to page 158, the Mi Chamocha.
Sing with me.
to rise as we move to our silent Amida, page 164, if you're able to rise. And we're going to continue with our private prayers, starting on 164 through page 180. Take this time to read in the Hebrew, English, or just your own private prayers. And whenever you're ready, you may be seated. Continue on page 180 with Oseh Shalom.
Oseh shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. One more time. Hoseh shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'al kol
This time we turn our prayers to people that we're thinking about in need of healing, whether in this room, maybe ourselves, or outside of this room. I'm going to read our list of names. Before I do, first of all, the prayer is on page 371. And I'm going to read our list of names afterwards. If you have other names you'd like to list, then just raise your hand. We're very happy to have Lily back with us too as well. I know we're going to, I think, get you off the list now, or maybe she needs a little more time still. A little more time. Okay. We're thinking about Jeff Balsam, Seth Bruckheimer, Lily Bink, Hope Bongiorno, Dave Cohen, Laura Croak, Evan Dennis, Bob Filipponi, Gloria Fine, Kenny Jackson, Denise and Jared Gilden, Stephen Glick, Carolyn and Ernie Grosser, Dave Imowitz, Kenny Jackson, Barbara Kane, Alex Katz, Ken Kellick, Marilyn Kerman, Tony Rinsberg, and baby Maddie. That's the family that lost their home. Remy Levine, Miles Levy, Gail Lewis, Shelby Matson, Howard Lewis Myers, Jeff Pratt, Angela Rabillard, Shel Rossi, Cindy Rotella, Paul Roy, Sarah Corn Rothschild, Brandon Ryan, Deb Serino, Carol Silverman, Lorenzo Stewart, Jerry Stovall, and Andrew Sutherland, Susan Tobe, Enjo Tufts, Renata and Wolfgang Toll, Mary Weiss, Mike Wheeler, Lauren Zefel, Carla Batchana, Yosef Ben Zissel, Chana Ezra Ben Shul, Shmuel Ben Bulig, and Yitzchak Nachman Ben Root. If you have other names you'd like to say.
Brenda Cohen, Sheldon Cohen, and Batya Batfegel.
Jill and Anita Klinker. We have another hand up in the
Oh,
front.
no, sorry. Yeah. Saul Elkin. Yeah, he's been needing prayer, so thank you for including him. So we'll bring all those names into our hearts again. The prayer is on page 371.
who bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to
The life's
a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi shemeva imotenu bekor haracham lavotenu, best those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
May our prayers go out to where they're needed, and may we feel those prayers in our hearts, and we say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom. All right, so if I tell you the number 17, what do you think? This is a test whether you're a football fan or not, I guess. So 17 in Judaism is not exactly Josh Allen. There's one major 17, which is it's a holiday, but it's not really a holiday. It's a memorial day, the 17th of Tammuz. And the 17th of Tammuz was one of the worst days in the calendar, actually. That's the day the temple, the walls were breached by the Romans, and it forecast 3 weeks later that the temple would be destroyed. And it begins the worst section of the Jewish year, which is the 3 weeks between the fast of the 17th of Tammuz and the Tisha B'Av, which is the actual destruction of the temple. So 17 is not like the greatest number when it comes to Judaism. So it was very surprising when you open up this week's Torah portion, which is Vayechi, and you start reading, and it says, Jacob, our forefather, lived 17 years in the land of Egypt. So this, it's very striking. 17 years. First of all, I didn't realize he lived quite a long time. So if you remember, just let's rewind a little bit about the story. We're in the middle of the story, or the end of the story of Joseph, the very end of Genesis. And in the story, of course, Jacob thought that Joseph had died, and he was reunited with Joseph, or he is reunited in this week's Torah portion, in last week's Torah portion, he was reunited with him. And then I guess he stays for quite a while. And it's very striking because 17 for Jews is one less than 18. So 18 is the ideal. If only Josh Allen could have been wearing 18 around, right? So 18 is high, and I spoke about this in my Torah thoughts this week. Chai, which I am so glad. I was looking for ties, and Maury has retired, so I said I could use some ties, and he gave me lots of ties with different themes, and one of them was a chai tie. So I was like, I know I have the perfect tie for tonight. So there's a couple of Torah portions that are named with the Hebrew word chai. And just a reminder, I know most of you are aware, but the Hebrew letters, before there was a numbering system, the letters served as numbers. And chet is the 8th number, yud is the 10th number, so chai is 8 and 10, or 18. And that's how we get to that. And it's actually a much newer, the biblical ancestors, they didn't have anything to do. This is only over the last couple hundred years that this has been important. And we know with Chai that often this is what you give donations in. This is when there's a simcha, something of joy, or when you're trying to help out, you offer Chai. It's a way of saying, A, you're part of the club. I'm sure people from outside of our community, they say, why is everyone giving you these random numbers? I don't understand. What's this 36 and 54 and 72? It doesn't make any sense. But for people in the Jewish community, it means a lot when we get donations in the synagogue for $18. It means so much because you're not only donating, you're saying we're hoping to extend life. Biblically, actually, when this word chai that root, appears in a biblical portion, it is not necessarily the best thing, because it means that the person is dying. So like a couple of weeks ago when Sarah died, it says her portion is called Chaye Sarah, the life of Sarah. So it's basically the epitaph at the beginning. And in the same way, this is getting ready for Jacob's death and then Joseph's death. If you haven't read, by the way, Rabbi Yonina wrote a beautiful write-up in the Federation email about when her mother was dying. And it's very, very touching. And this is really about that. But there's something to the fact that he was only 17 years, not 18 years. And contrasting with that, the rabbis tell us that Joseph was 54 years as the viceroy, the vice president of Egypt. 54 years, triple high. Egypt was his place. Jacob is Canaan, Israel. And that becomes very important because Egypt in those days was, for biblical ancestors, Isaac went there, Abraham went there. Everyone goes there, but they didn't want to stay there. Joseph was really the only one that stayed there. So the fact that Jacob left just before it was his 18th year, that was the important thing. One way to think about high in terms of our lives, and this is something a congregant in Atlanta taught me. It's a wonderful way to think about life itself. She used high as the basis of everything about life. She says that we don't live 1 to 100 or 1 to 50 or what. We live in cycles, and we're constantly being born and reborn. We get to we go from one stage to another. And if you start thinking about your life, not in terms of a whole lifespan, but in terms of sections of 18, where you're constantly, every single time you're on that section, and think about where you are in that, whether you're the beginning or the end of an 18 cycle, and then you get to start again. And when she told me this, it was like very rejuvenating, because it's not, as opposed to thinking about your life like a race to get to 100, if we're so lucky, God willing, healthy, as opposed to thinking of it like that, it's about thinking about life in its totality, that we go through lots of different phases, and it's not about a race to anywhere. And, just because one of us is 99 and another one of us is 9, we might actually be on the same sort of cycle together, that there is kind of a journey to that. So it was very affirming to me. And the Jewish way of thinking about things is cyclical. Not linear, cyclical. That things are always, that's why we're always repeating things. We're always going back. We're always rolling the Torah, re-rolling the Torah. Because we're coming back, not to bore ourselves, doing the same things over and over again, because each time we arrive at the same place, it changes us. This is the reason why in literature, movies, all great things, they almost always begin and end in a similar place, so you can see the arc of the character growth, that they are moving from one place to the other. That is how we can figure out our life. So, going back to Buffalo and our number 17, there's a little bit of irony, actually, in the way it is. So 17 came, and we're going to the playoffs, and God willing, we'll have success at the start of the playoffs. We're allowed to pray for the team to do the best they can. We're not. I learned this in high school. We're not allowed to pray for them to win, because then that would be going against the other team. And God doesn't favor teams, but we can pray that they do the best they can. And the coolest thing about the Buffalo Bills story is between the Jim Kelly era and the Josh Allen era, how many years? Roughly 18 years. It's 17 years of playoff drought and 18 cycles. So we go from one cycle to the next. You can't write it. It's practically biblical. May we think about our lives differently, feel the high, where our highs, as I wrote in the Torah Thoughts, And go Bills.
Bills.
Go Bills, yeah. I think we can always say that. That's what they say. That's how Jews greet each other, or that's how everyone greets each other in Buffalo. Go Bills. It's sort of like kids say, what shalom means hello and goodbye and peace. It's amazing. It's a word that means no. It's like go Bills. You know, you can use it in all these ways. Right? All right, we are ready. Actually, we have a beautiful song that Cantor has prepared from Naomi Shemer, Al Kol Ela. And what inspired? So this is on page 651.
I've been thinking so much about Israel. I read about the not the Yortzites, the death of 6 soldiers this week. That's, on the list, the Shiva list. And just thinking about the hostages and just reports coming through, I'm thinking that we should do a series of songs from Israel, over the next few weeks and just stay in touch with our souls and their souls.
Yeah, I think it's like, about 458 days or something like that?
Yeah, I have a friend who posts on Facebook every single day, the countdown of the days. It's just like shocking. So, I thought we'd do something today. So what page is it on?
651.
651?
Well,
This
let's
is-
double check.
Naomi Shemer.
And this is a beautiful song, with or without Israel. It's just a beautiful song.
As Rabbi is checking it,
Yes,
I'll just
it's
give you a
correct.
hint.
You
If
had
you
it
don't
right.
have a Siddur in front of you, a hint of the words. Through the sting and through the honey, through the bitter and the sweet, do not destroy my hope, my yearning. Bring me back and I will return to the good land. על הדבש ועל העוקץ, על המר והמתוק, על ביתנו התינוקת, שמור לי הטוב, על האש והמוארת, על המים חזקים, על האיש השב הביתה מן המרחקים. This is the chorus now. Try it with me. על כהלה, על כהלה, שמור נא לי אלי הטוב. על הדבש ועל העוקץ, על המר והמתוק, על נתקו נטוע, אל תשכח והתקווה, השיבני והשובה אל הארץ הטובה, על הדבש ועל העוקץ, על המר והמתוק, על ביתנו התינוקת, שמור לי הטוב, על האש המבוערת, על המים חזקים, על האיש השב הביתה מן המרחקים, על כהלה, על כהלה, שמור נא לי אלי הטוב.
על הדבש ועל העוקץ, על המר והמתון, על נטע כהונתוה, אל תשכח את התקווה, השיבני ונשובה אל הארץ הטובה.
We rise for our lane.
לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא קלקלנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים עומדים לפני מרד מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 591.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
You may be seated. We turn to the Mourner's Kaddish, page 598. And this has been a hard week in our congregation. First of all, to the Lieberman family, especially to Ian, who's still in Albany right now. We are very sad about the loss of his mom, Carol. And she was a fighter and really tried hard, and as very sad loss, and very sad for the family. I'm glad that they're here, and we hope Ian gets back safe when he's ready to come back. We also lost last night, or early this morning, Elaine Weinstein passed. And Elaine, longtime member of our congregation, she will be, the burial will be on Tuesday at 11 o'clock here at Shir Shalom. And there'll be Shiva at Elaine's residence on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights. We also lost Jeremy Brian Sideris as well in this past week. In our past month, we are remembering Reverend Jim Callahan, Don Gilden, Marcia Jacobs, Anthony Lagalbo, David Selkowitz, Marcia Tepper, Joseph Zackheim. On our yard-side list from years past, we remember Dora Bardak, Alvin Bendis, Jeanette Berzone, Samuel Burstein, Yitzchak Burstein, Albert Kallistein, Louis Chertoff, Isidore Koris, Adolph Kramer, Sherwood Drayman, Anna Gelfer, Dr. Jacob Gilden, Janet R. Glickman, Ida Gottesman, Sigmund Grost, Henrietta Hirsch, Jean Hubush, Bertha Horowitz, Alvin Cantor, Ada Cariff, Sarah Koris, Ida Kranitz, Murray Krebs, Estelle Leonard, Meyer Levin, Ralph W. Levinson, Tony Lillen, Rachel Marks, Abe L. Marquesi, Sharon B. Maybach, Alice Miller, Ruth S. Miller, Anna Berg Moscow, Nathan Naiman, Pincus Peller, Jenny Pohl, Molly Roth, Belle Shapiro, Clara Schwartz, Bruce Schweitzer, Carol Seide, Sydney Schuchard, Sarah Schwartz, Leo Ullman, Israel Willig, Gregory Wolpin, and Lita Rappaport Zingaro. If there's other names you want to say, just raise your hand. Yeah, Harvey.
Peter Yarrow.
Peter Yarrow, yeah. All those whose custom it is to rise, please rise. Again, page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach hirutei, v'yamlik malchutei, v'chayechon v'yamachon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agalau v'zman kariv v'yamru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah v'arach le'olam omei omaya. Yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudashah b'rechu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, daviran v'alma v'yamaru, amen. Yehei shlomer rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yamaru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yal kol yeshvei tevel v'yamaru, amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world, and we say amen. May be seated, Zikranam Livracha, may their memories always be for a blessing. And Bruce is going to have the announcements. I think I have to go look for, you found it, okay. All right, good.
We're good.
I knew it was over there somewhere.
Shabbat shalom again, everyone. Hey, come here a second. Come here. Sure. That's very cool.
Yeah, thanks, Maury.
His chai tai. I've seen him have a mai tai,
Mai Tai.
but I've never seen him with a chai
That's like a Mai
tai before.
Tai, right?
He had a few mai tais when we were in Panama. That's a whole other story.
With his high tie,
Well, yeah, there you go.
during high tide.
Anyway, Shabbat shalom again, everyone. Thank you to Diane Gordon for being our service greeter this evening. We appreciate it. And thank you to Rabbi Alex and Cantor Frank for a lovely service. Hey, can you do Bob Dylan songs on that ukulele?
Yes, and that's
And
coming
you
up
will be?
soon, next
Oh,
month.
well, you don't steal my thunder, but yes, good.
Oh, okay.
Good. I figured you had it in the works. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., we will be doing Torah study at Temple Beth Tzedek, and also via their Zoom. The Shabbat morning service and Kiddush luncheon is at 10:45, also at Temple Beth Tzedek. Community Religious School and Ganenu preschool program returns on Sunday. The kids are back from their winter break. They're all calmed down now, ready to go. So they'll be back in school Sunday morning. Thank you to everyone who attended the Women of Shir Shalom accessory auction. I heard it was a very fun evening. We appreciate everyone that taking part in that. We have a special service coming up 2 weeks from tonight. That is our family service. We are bringing back family service. That is Friday, January 24th. That's at 6:30. Note the earlier time, followed by an Oneg Shabbat at 7:30. And even though it's the family service and we're going to have a lot of little munchkins running around that night, everyone is welcome. We've been talking for the longest time about bringing back the family service, and I'm glad that we are doing so. Hey, speaking of little munchkins running around, hey, Todd. Grandpa, Todd Sugarman, our temple president, became a grandfather twice in 10 days. His oldest and youngest daughters, he has a new grandson and a new granddaughter. So congratulations to Todd. He is doing everything he can to increase the families in our congregation, and we appreciate that. Speaking of Todd, Friday, February 14th, we are bringing back Shabbat Shalom, Mr. Dylan, in honor of the wonderful new Dylan movie, A Complete Unknown, which has been nominated for many, many awards. The cantor and the singers and the band are bringing back one of our more popular musical Shabbats, Shabbat Shalom, Mr. Dylan. And he'll be watching on the stream. He usually does. So and I don't know if you noticed, but in all the stories about the movie, she got a credit because the movie may be called A Complete Unknown, but Bob Dylan talked about Congregation Shir Shalom being so known to him for what we've done. So anyway, we have Shabbat Shalom, Mr. Dylan, coming up on Friday, February 14th, Valentine's Day. And I mentioned Todd because we will be celebrating Todd's birthday and the Cantor's birthday with an Oneg Shabbat that we'll be following with wine and cheese and dessert, sponsored by the Cantor. So all sorts of stuff happening on Valentine's Day this year. Then we're not done celebrating because a month later, just about a month, Purim is coming on March 13th.
What?
Yes.
Later.
Are you ready?
No, we
You
haven't
better
even met yet.
Have you thought about it?
I have thought about
Okay,
it.
good,
but
good,
it's-
good.
it's
That's a
the
good thing.
summertime.
This year, our Purim spiel is Wicked, Defying Gravity Together. We're still filling out the cast. It is a cast of dozens. We will have lots of, and we'll have munchkins. So, in fact, I have some secrets on who's gonna be some munchkins, but I'm not gonna tell you because they're secrets. The only thing I will tell you is that this year, there is no part for the rabbi that I can play. So I will not be playing you this year in the
Yeah.
spiel. I've still got the red wig, I think.
Wait a minute, we can readdress that.
We'll have to.
Yeah.
Okay,
It could
we'll-
be something like that.
All right, we'll see what we can
Your
do.
special part.
I think I gave him the wig back. I gave him the wig because,
I
you
know
know,
where it is.
he is of an age where the hair
It
starts
was in the,
thinning.
it was in
So
the,
we want him to be ready.
there's still, it was inside there.
No,
Yeah, no, and you took everything out.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it was in there.
Anyway, Purim Spiel is coming March 13th. And that's the night, by the way, that we'll do the grand prize drawings of the Chai Club. Speaking of which, where'd Sherry Jo go? Oh, there you are. Okay. So we have our Chai Club every week. First prize is $54, the second prize is $36, and the third prize is $18.
No, goes the other way.
First prize, grand prize.
First prize is 18, second
Well,
is...
no, grand prize is 50. First prize being the grand prize. Bear with me. Grand prize is $54. Second prize
You're thinking
is
the
30.
miracle
Never mind, we're
order,
giving
you're
away money.
thinking of, like,
And then,
runner-up and then
on the
winner.
night of the Purim Spiel, we will be doing the big prize drawings, $180, $360, $540.
Whoa, is it too late for me to get a
No,
name
it
in
is
there?
not too late
I
to
can
buy a
still
ticket.
buy high tickets?
Anyone can buy a
Okay.
ticket. It's not
I
too
will
late.
buy some.
Anyone can buy a ticket. Just talk to, not tonight,
And even if you
though.
win, except for Bruce,
Well, yes.
your tickets go back.
Joanne shredded my tickets before she went on vacation, but that's okay. Anyway, please join us immediately following the services for the Oneg in the social hall. Shabbat Shalom, and of course, go Bills.
$18.
$18. I'll read.
I'm mixing it up good.
Here we go.
Drum roll.
Would you like to read it? Oh,
Ellen Caton.
Ellen Caton is $18.
Hey.
That's
36.
high.
Karen Lowenthal. 36.
Karen Lowenthal is $36. Now we have 54.
digging around, digging and mixing.
Sheldon Tatuski.
Sheldon Tatuski, $54. And again, their tickets go back into the basket
After I
because
tell
there's room in the basket because
After
my
you
tickets
tell
are not in
After I
there.
tell Joanne, I have certain instructions.
Okay. Shabbat shalom.
All right, we are going to turn to our final hymn, Adon Olam, page 625.
Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Hashem Malach,
Sher Malach,
Terem Kol,
Terem Kol,
Yitzir Nivra, Yeit Nasa,
Yeit Nasa,
Bechem Sokol, Azay Nalek Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'yachare, Kiktot Takol, V'vahado Yimlok Nara Adon Olam, V'hu Haya, V'hu Hova, V'hu Yeh B'tifara Adon Olam, Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Hashem Malach,
Sher Malach,
Terem Kol,
Terem Kol,
Yitzir Nivra, Yeit Nasa,
Yeit Nasa,
בחפצו אזי נלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם והוא אחד ואין שני לך שלו להכבירה אדון עולם בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא העוז והמזרח אדון עולם אדון עולם
Adon Olam,
השם מלך
Sher Malach,
בטרם כל
Terem Kol,
יציר נברא לעת נשא
Yeit Nasa,
תכף סוכו,
אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם, והוא אלי וחי גואלי, וצורכם לי ביצרה אדון עולם, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מן הכוסים ביום נקרא אדון עולם, אדון עולם,
Adon Olam,
אשר מלך
Asher Malach,
בטרם כל
Terem Kol,
יצא נברא להתנסה
Et Nasa,
לחפצו אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם, בידו הפקיד רוחי והייתי שם ויהירה אדון עולם, ואם רוחי כביאתי אדון לי ולא ירא אדון עולם, אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יצא נברא להתנסה
Et Nasa,
לחפצו אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. As you came in peace, may you leave in peace. Please return your prayer books minus the leaflet to the front and enjoy our own egg. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Hey, Mark, nice to have you back.
ליהודים הייתה אורה, הייתה אורה, בשמחה וששון ויקר. ביהודים הייתה אורה, הייתה אורה, בשמחה וששון ויקר. כן תהיה לנו, תהיה לנו, תהיה לנו. כן תהיה לנו, תהיה לנו, תהיה לנו. ליהודים הייתה אורה, הייתה אורה.